back. As we're all rejoining, how was it? How was round two? Thumbs, hands. So now is the time. I know we still have some folks coming in. First of all, that we thank you for spending this time with us, giving such great presentations, asking such great questions, giving such great feedback. And now is the time that we fuel this work forward. So this is open for all of us for calls to action and commitments. And so what we ask now is that ways that you were moved by what you've seen and heard, things that you learned, and a commitment that you're willing to make to it, or a call to action that you want to put forward to the group. And we're going to try to do it popcorn style. If that is a disaster, we'll do something else. You can decide in what form you want to share this. You can put it in the chat. You can say it to the group. This is an incredible group of civic leaders and movers and shakers. So now's your time. Calls to action and commitments. Oh, come on. I know this is a group of action and commitment. Someone want to break the ice?
I guess I can start.
And Makita, will you model for us? Will you say, even though many people have met you, who you are before your call to action or commitment?
My name is Makita McKenzie. I'm a lead fellow. I've been a part of Next Gen Politics for 2 years. Basically, I think I just plan on really thinking about my privileges in life, like hearing about like a lot of things that I don't really have to face or I don't really have to think about. I plan on making that effort to think about those things so that I can make sure everyone is being like thought of, and yeah, especially during these times.
I'm Juliana. I've also spent the past 2 years being a part of Next Gen as both a Civic Fellow and a Lead Fellow. And I think I've definitely grown, like, in my time at Next Gen, I've definitely become, like, more open to other people's ideas and opinions, which I'm very proud to say, like, that Next Gen has helped me do such great growth. But also, like, I want to echo what Makita said about privilege. We talked about this in one of our first podcast episodes, like, around the COVID-19 outbreak, but that it's like, for me, I like found it to be a lesson in privilege, and like my commitment, like as I grow older, is that I want to be more informed about my own privilege, and I want to commit myself to like helping others like mitigate like being like underprivileged or underserved. And also, like, another commitment of mine is to like include every voice, like even if I don't agree with them, because like after working on this civic action project with free expression, like it really made me understand the importance of like listening to everybody's opinion. Like, you're not to everybody in life, like you're not going to grow as a thinker and grow as an individual around people that agree with you. And I just think that one of my commitments is also to be like more open and understanding of everybody's viewpoint.
I'm Tamar. I go to School of Future. I was a civic fellow for 1 year. And now I'm a lead civic fellow. Next Generation Politics has allowed me to listen to the opinions of different student spectrum, and have an understanding of like different topics as far as voting, the criminal justice system, and like how the system works and what can we do to make it better. As a next generation, I believe it's important for the youth to have an understanding so that when we get to the stage in the next 5 to 10 years, we know what to do. And it's important that we start now. See, I think us coming up with these really unique and creative ideas will benefit our society both mentally and physically. I feel like the older generation has more wisdom, which is important for us to be guided. And I feel like Next Generation Politics has gave us access to resources and many outlets to use those skills and strategies to be successful. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody.
Hi, my name is Asher. I'm a civics fellow, and I go to the Fieldston School in the Bronx. And Next Generation Politics has been a really great experience for me. And I want to commit to always seeking compromise and understanding that I'm not the only one who is entitled to good ideas and has good ideas, and that the only way to kind of move forward is to hear what everyone has to say and find a middle ground that we can all agree on and kind of work to move forward and strive to.
Hi, can I add something here real quick, Sandra?
Yeah, please do, John.
Yeah, so I'm a freshman at Columbia, and this is my first time like in any of these. Just called Sanda because I'm with the Columbia Political Union. We are looking at doing some civic engagement work with high school students, and I just gotta say I'm really, really impressed with what you guys are doing with the presentations. I just thought they were really high quality, really detailed proposals, and when I was in high school, I certainly would not be able to uh, understand these issues at a level like that. So it's very impressive. And keep doing what you're doing. Really good work.
So I'll jump in. This is Lisa K. Solomon. I'm calling in from California, where I teach at the Stanford Institute of Design, also known as the D School. And I just want to first congratulate all the fellows and leaders on these presentations. They are fantastic. At a moment where we all need to architect hope coming from our youth. I just want to say this really was truly inspiring. I've been working on a program for next gen voters called Vote by Design, which asks how design practices and principles can help create clarity and voter agency. We have now turned it online. We are starting an educator program, and we hope to scale it to as many high schools across the country by November, and I'd love to get all of your help. So I'm going to put in the chat an opportunity to join our first educator session. This is going to be Creative Commons, free for everyone, and it really is a transformative experience to demystify what does it mean to be a voting citizen? Because I think what often shows up as apathy is really just confusion. So I hope you all join me. And again, congratulations on all of this fantastic effort.
And I'll just put in a plug for Lisa's work. Lisa has trained a number of our Civic Fellows and Y voters to do Vote by Design online workshops. So if you're interested in having a peer facilitated workshop in your school, in your out of school time group, thanks to Lisa's amazing resources and training, we're ready for you. So you can contact us. Who else? Commitments, calls to action.
I just wanted to say that like it really means a lot to have so many adults here who are so accomplished in their fields listen to what the youth has to say, because oftentimes like we're overlooked by the older generation who think we're just not wise enough, we're not mature enough to make our own decisions or vote. But just to have all you guys come here and just listen to what we have to say really means a lot, and we could hopefully work together towards creating a better future. So just thanks again.
Hey everyone, this is Bree Sia from GenVote. Again, I'm just so proud. Like I said in the breakout group, I really wish I can give you all a big hug, and you know I'm just like again amazed by your enthusiasm, your motivation, and ability to adapt. So what I commit to doing is continuing to support you all as we push for not only online voter registration, but truly like a new youth voting rights movement. I think this presentation today really just puts a fire in me to continue the fight, because it shows that we need young people to fight for voting rights. We need to make this a base building issue for your peers in schools, right? And the fact that y'all are able to bring the nuance as to why OVR matters for young people is so different and so new. So I commit to building the movement with you all together as comrades. And seriously, thank you so much. This is what I needed during this time. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Frank. I've been a Civic Fellow for the past year, and I just wanted to say, you know, I have the privilege of being in DC next year, and so Next Gen has really been a stepping stone, because I'm really excited next year to be actually, you know, hopefully, you know, speaking to politicians directly, speaking with people who are, you know, in the game in Washington, and so, you know, it was one of the highlights actually of me being an NGP has been, you know, actually reaching out to like politicians, like being able to speak to like people who are actually involved in the issues I care about. Because before, you know, you just like debate and you just like talk about them and you have opinions, but you don't really get to express them in the real world and, you know, have those materialize in the form of like actions and like that you can sort of impact. But, you know, this is real, again, like I said, this has really been a stepping stone for me to like move into the real world, you know, in DC, and be able to like I feel much more prepared basically to be able to enter the world of politics and actually be able to, you know, make a change. So thank you.
We're excited for you to be in DC, Frank. DC needs you. And Juliana, who will also be in DC, and others who will be in DC. We're counting on you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to jump in here. My name's Jessica Rosario. I'm a higher education advocate from Queens, New York, and I go to John Jay. I created, just as a call to action, I created this petition demanding for online voter registration about 2 months ago. I could drop that in the chat just to follow up the amazing presentation on voting rights and voter engagement, which was really great. I'm very, 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 very happy that I jumped on the call. I was tired. I was like, I don't want to do this. But being able to hear your voices and see your work and have so many great adult allies around.
Oh no!
What happened?
We lost you for a second. You're back.
No. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So I was saying that it really ignites kind of what I see for the future, not just in like voting rights, but just in the youth movement. New York City and around the country. I saw someone put, make sure you guys are like considering running for office. I've said it, I would love to run for office. And I think that everyone here should see that as an option if you're really taking part in the movement. And that's just one option, you know, be on campaign, be engaged. I think that you guys are really, really educated and we need that. So if anyone ever needs help, kind of just like with cold emails and looking at what organizations you should look towards. I'd love to do any mentoring, anything that I can do as someone who's not that young anymore, but still in the fight to support you. I'm there, and I'll put that petition in the chat and I'll put my email and we can connect after. But thank you everybody for today.
We have time for a few more. So if you're thinking about jumping in, jump in. And I mean that in the broadest senses.
Yeah, I mean, I think throughout this process, my team and I especially, we had to do a lot of reaching out to other people, especially people in local government positions. And so I think that it's interesting because as big of an advocate as I am for civic engagement and civic education, I don't think I've ever really, reached out to my, local government officials like that before this project. And I think once I've had those conversations, I encourage everyone here to do so more often, even if you have just some issue that you're really passionate about, or you're seeing some kind of problem going on in local communities. It's always great to reach out and just take that step to share your idea, because they do really want to hear from you and they do want to listen most of the time. So if you have any kind of ideas such as that, you should definitely take that step to reach out and not wait for some kind of project like this, as great as it is.
Hi, so my name is Charlotte, and I've been a Civic Fellow last year, and I'm a Lead Fellow this year. And like through NGP, I just want to say I further commit to taking winning off the table, because the more time I spent with the people at Next Generation Politics, I learned that it's not about having the best argument and winning for your side, but it's more kind of what Asher said previously about like finding a compromise and making it work for everyone. And I also want to say that this has been the first year of the Civic Action Project, and I think it was a huge success, and it gave like me especially the time to focus on something that I've been always passionate about. So I think it was a great opportunity for all of us to engage with one topic in more depth.
I just want to say, Charlotte is in Germany. She, after COVID, was sent home with her family and still managed to be at every civic forum, at every working group, true leader in our group. So thank you, Charlotte, for navigating time changes and all of that. And also a shout out to Anne, who's here with us today from New Zealand and really navigating time changes. So we have time for maybe two more commitments and calls to action.
Well, since you mentioned, can I speak now?
Yeah.
Hi, Yes, I'm a little jet lagged. There's an 18-hour difference. So it's been challenging, but I've been so impressed by the high level, the really fine quality, not only of the research, but also the passion and the commitment. And I would say I have two huge regrets: that I was not able to have that ubiquitous gift and be in all presentations. And I deeply enjoyed the two I was honored to attend. And I can only imagine what happened in the other breakout rooms. And the second regret was that I wish that all of you were our current political leaders, because I think that the level of your intervention, the quality, the thoughtfulness, and again, the very humane, commitment and passion is so impressive. And it gives me, and I think it gives all of us who are older, a lot of hope for this next generation and the work that you're going to do. For a long time, I was not a citizen, and I was saying, well, never mind, I'm in education. I don't vote, but I'm in education. And just hearing your voices has been so inspiring. So thank you so much. I have a lot of questions that I was not able to really formulate because of the time, the age and the time difference, but I will send them. And this was my first year, and I cannot wait to continue and do everything to support the work, the amazing work that Next Gen is doing and that all of you are doing. And I'm sure that I hear, wherever you are, I hear from you contributing in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Do we have a last call to action or commitment?
Is it considered a call to action if I, just thank, just everybody for being here in the first place anyway?
I think that's totally appropriate, Mark. A great way to close out this section.
I really can't emphasize enough just how thankful I am that I got to experience not just this organization, but everybody who's been a part of it. It's just, to be honest, Next Generation Politics, it's one of those organizations that honestly, really blew my mind out of the water, to be honest with you. I had a very bleak view of the political world and kind of the world at large, really, when it came to certain issues. But when it came to something like Next Generation Politics, honestly, it just gave me a lot of hope, really. And there's a lot of credit to go around. I know that Lila was here in the meeting for a bit. Thank you to her so much for introducing me to this organization. Thank you to Zarvan for being my co-chapter head for our school at Nest. Honestly, and also credit to Clara too, because she's been to people who don't know, Clara has been our podcast editor for about
Amazing.
most of the time.
Amazing.
Most of the time that she is that we've been doing the podcast, she has been our editor, and that's so much credit to her. It goes, really can't emphasize enough. I don't really have much else to say that hasn't already been said. Just thank you for being here, and hopefully we can keep this going.
Thank you, Mark. So before we close out, and people can still add things in the chat, but just a few appreciations I would like to share, and then a call to action and how you can stay involved by our National Director of Outreach and Engagement, Olivia Becker. So civics is a collective effort, and our program and today exemplifies this. So the quick appreciations are to all of you for spending several sunny hours cooped up with us in a pandemic on a perfect spring day. We hope you found it as worthwhile as we did. Further, to our Civic Fellows for doing all that every month and bringing such infectious civic energy and insight and analysis. You have brightened so many Sundays and really kept us going the whole week through. Thank you, Civic Fellows. To our lead fellows who helped co-design and facilitate everything we did this year, this program would not exist without you. It has been such a pleasure and a privilege to work with you. I have learned and grown so much. I am going to try not to cry because I miss the notion of getting to work with you so closely next year, but I hope that you will stay involved. You are a Civic Fellow for life, and we can't wait to see all that you will do. To our organizational partners who were willing to take on high school apprentices amid their already overloaded schedules. For all of you everywhere, like, it is not easy to get people to take on high school students, even as amazing as this one. So want to thank Bree Sia from Generation Vote and the Brennan Center for Justice, Will Creeley and Bonnie Snyder from FIRE, the Foundation for Independent Rights in Education, Lucy Lang and Michelle Mason from the Institute for Innovation and Prosecution at John Jay, Jarrell Daniels, who couldn't be with us, but who has been an amazing ally from Columbia University's Center for Justice and the Youth Ambassadors Program, to Felipe de la Hoz from Borderline. Y'all should subscribe. Thank you for being such amazing mentors. To our board of advisors, I think we have Pat Joseph and Michael Preston with us here still, and Jean Rotunda earlier. Our board of advisors help with strategic planning, with program support, with development, with partnerships, and are just like lift up our organization and me every day. So thank you, board of advisors. And I want to close and just thank you to all of you again for being here. And thanks to all my friends and colleagues and allies and my amazing boyfriend for being here today. You all are the wind beneath our wings. So I hope you all saw Obama last night. And if you didn't, it's online, Graduate Together. And I felt like he was talking to us. He said many great things, listen to them, but he also said, you know, he directed it to young people, especially the class of 2020, that nobody can tell you you're too young or this is how it's always been done. If the world is going to get better, it's going to come from you. No pressure. Okay, a little bit of pressure, but this is your generation's world to shape, and we are so, so excited to have you shape it. With that, I am passing it to Olivia Becker to close us out with how you can stay involved. We hope that you will. We will send you tomorrow video of all the sessions, some follow-ups. We hope that you will, you are now officially part of the Next Generation family, and we look forward to moving civic life forward with you. Olivia.
Wait, wow. Sanda, we call you a civic superhero, and I mean that in every sense of the term. I don't think, you know, words can express all of our gratitude, so just a little bit of the Zoom thanks from all of us. And yeah, just ways to stay involved, because as Sanda said, this is the beginning and not the end of our civic journey. We are only beginning, going to be able to vote and be in public office and so many more opportunities. So ways to stay involved in Next Gen. For students, you can write for our blog. We believe in strengthening and amplifying your voice. To those who just want to listen, you can subscribe to our blog and to our podcast, which is the Roundtable, streaming on every platform possible. Follow us on social media. We're Next Gen Paul on every platform. You can join our social distancing issues cinema club, which we're launching next week. You can sign up for our 6-week starter kit for civil discourse, which we are also launching in the near future amidst this pandemic. You can apply to become a Civic Fellow next year. And as always, you can donate to keep the work that we're doing going. Sanda will send an email with all of this information because I know it is a lot to handle, but just know that we are here and we value everyone's voice. It takes a village, and this is one heck of a village to be surrounded by. So thank you to each and every one of you, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks again.
Thank you all. And thank you to our room facilitators, Olivia Becker, Kaden Liebert, and Yessie Burgos. Y'all were amazing, kept us on time, incredible. Thank you all.
Really thank you. And for being an amazing
Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
you.
you.
You're the best.
Thank you so much, Sanda.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything,
Oh,
Sanda.
and I forgot to mention, you have civic certificates coming your way. They'll be online for now, but hopefully mailed as soon as we can. I didn't get to show them to you. They would look much better in person, but thank you. Thank you. And Pat, as a senior who is also going to be moving on, we will miss you. Please stay connected. We've loved the opportunity to work with you. And seniors, we're going to do something special. So this is not the end. And juniors, we're so glad that we get more time with you. So look out for it. Next year's program is going to be different, better. We've learned a lot this year. We can't wait to move it forward. Thank you all. Get out inside.
Bye, Sanda.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, this is making me sad.
No, no sad.
Oh my
This is
God.
just like the next chapter in our journey.
Oh,